Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. XRP to trigger countless early retirements. That's the headline from the Crypto Basic. And a couple things here. First of all, that's already happened. That first happened to a massive degree in 2017. In the first half of 2017, actually, when XRP went from half a penny to over 40 cents for the first time in history. And prior to that, the all-time high, I think it was about 6 cents. I'm pretty sure that's correct. And then, of course, again, later in 2017, when it rallied, it made even more people ridiculously wealthy. XRP ran to a high of about $3.35. And it's going to happen to such an insane degree yet again by the end of the cycle. I certainly believe that's the case anyway. And I'm going to share with you some reasons that, well, first of all, I'll say congratulations because you're early, reasons to be optimistic, and some specifics about what's going on with XRP right now. This is just an incredible time to be an XRP holder, despite all of the fear in the markets today. I'm aware of what's happening with the tariffs. It's noise. It's not going to matter in the future. A year or two from now, nobody's going to remember that, other than when somebody like me will bring it up. Be like, see how you don't remember? Like, oh yeah, I don't remember that, except for since you brought it up. It's not going to matter. Big picture here. In fact, I would say a decade from now, you'll look back and be like, on this moment, be so thankful that you're one of the small percentage of humans that had exposure to any crypto at all, because it's just a small percentage of people that exist that have any exposure, and it's less than 1% of humans that have even a single XRP. So I'd say, yeah, you're a little bit ahead of the curve. Congratulations. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so this article was focusing on a comment from John Squire, who is a media personality. He's got over 500,000 followers on X, huge fan of XRP, and he firmly believes that XRP is going to ignite a wave of retirements. And the exact quote is, XRP's rise will trigger countless early retirements. And like I say, it already has, and it's going to do it even more. And I'm willing to bet that there are a ton of people listening right this very second who, by the time they cash out, it will have made them filthy rich. This is a real thing. Now, of course, it doesn't happen for most humans, but most people kind of fail at investing, generally speaking. But it doesn't mean that the opportunity isn't real. It doesn't mean that you can't seize it. You can. And that's what I find so empowering about crypto. It's a huge part of it is regular people like you and me, because there's nothing special about me just because I'm on the internet running a YouTube channel with a silly ass name, Moon Lambeau. What's so empowering is that regular people like us, we do have this actual opportunity. It is there. It's up to us to actually seize it. And people are going for it. That's for damn sure. Look at this headline from You Today. Ripple CEO spotlights surprising crypto data. And here's what he was citing. There was a poll, and it was run by, what was that called? The Harris poll. Here you can see self-describes one of the longest running surveys in the United States. That's what's cited on their profile on X. And Stuart Alderati, Ripple's CLO, mentioned them. He is the president, by the way, of National Cryptocurrency Association, which is a new organization which was also, to whatever degree, funded by Ripple, and I covered that at the time when that news broke. And so they worked together with Harris Poll to find some interesting information out, and a couple of these tidbits were shared by Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. And he wrote the following. This is from yesterday. In the largest study ever of crypto in the United States, the National Cryptocurrency Association found that 21% of Americans hold crypto. So, folks, that's a gigantic percentage of people in my country. I do live in the United States. I'm sure most of you know because you've been listening for a while. But that's a huge percentage. It's only going to get bigger. So, if you're in the United States right now and you hold crypto, you're in the minority by a fair bit. So it's impressive to see that it's grown to that. But again, you're on the cutting edge here. Like, you're still here before most people know about this. And, if you zoom out to the rest of the world, though, or most recent data I saw shows that something like, 5% of humans own crypto or something. Like, it's just a really small number. So if we continue to be correct about the adoption of crypto, broadly speaking, and XRP specifically, yeah, I would say that this idea of early retirement for a lot of people, it's going to be very real. Also, another figure here, 76% of them said it has a positive impact on their lives. That's why organizations like the NCA are so important, spotlighting the practical everyday use cases possible through crypto. Now, that's interesting because if you hop on social media, you think most of the time that people are nothing but devastated by crypto. But that, as I always say, the people who are the most emotional, like, and when the price goes down, they're just distraught. They're the ones that are going to be vocal. But the rest of us, I think we're mostly just kind of even tempered about this, at least. I mean, comparatively, at least to the fringe cases there. But regardless, it's clearly here to stay. And there's a post from my fellow XRP YouTuber Crypto Eddie. She cited another figure here from the Harris poll. See, the number increase. Yeah, 26% of high net worth Americans with investable assets of at least 1 million or more own cryptocurrency. So it's not just you that is into the magic internet money. And you want another reason that it's very obvious? Well, I mean, setting aside the fact that because of the change in administration from the top on down, the United States government is pro-crypto. There was this video clip of Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son, on Fox Business the other day. And he had a particular quote which jumped out at me, and it was shared by the Bull Runners account on X. And Eric Trump said, "There is not a single thing that those banks do that can't be done cheaper, more efficiently, and faster on blockchain." And okay, it doesn't mean that banks won't be useful. I mean, obviously, there's always going to be some people that aren't going to want to engage in self-custody of their crypto assets, and you can debate the merits of that. There are pros to cons of self-custody or having a trusted third-party custody. And then also in terms of loans, like banks are probably always going to be there for loans. Of course, you could always argue that they're going to be, because of decentralized finance, other opportunities for loans, this and that. But there are pros and cons there. There's always trade-offs, especially in terms of if something goes wrong, what are the legalities of that? So I don't think banks are going to go away. I think they're just going to morph. And a lot of the stuff that they historically do will become less and less useful to everyday people, because with crypto, you basically can be your own bank. That's a huge part of the pitch, right? Anyway. And so when he says that, those banks can't do anything, or what was the exact quote? There's not a single thing that those banks do that can't be done cheaper, more efficiently, and faster on blockchain. Well, as it pertains to the attributes of crypto, that broadly speaking actually is quite true. And so you just found it out early. The rest of the world is going to find this out. And it is the case that XRP was one of the early winners of crypto. And it's obvious that, with the advent of crypto, the creation of Bitcoin, and the promise of Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer cash system, that's something that people always wanted, something that could be a peer-to-peer cash system. But Bitcoin doesn't function as that, because on layer one, it's just slow, it's clunky, it costs too much. But XRP is the first crypto designed specifically for payments that got traction. And once a technology is broadly adopted, it's really hard to supplant it. And so recognizing all these things, recognizing the shift, it just seems so obvious to me that XRP is already one of the early winners. And that's why when I look at all of the chaos that's happening in terms of volatility on a global scale right now because of all the tariff stuff going on, that's going to go away, and crypto is going to continue to exist, including XRP, and then it's just not going to matter. It really is not going to matter. In fact, take a look at this post. This is a post from a chart analyst named Osemka, who I only started following fairly recently. I came across him because another analyst I follow, named Charting Guy, was sharing some of his stuff. I was like, oh yeah, saying some stuff that makes sense here. And so he shared this post about XRP yesterday. Now, this was before the tariff news broke, but that's irrelevant. Check out what he had to say here. It said, XRP update. Months later, and we're in this consolidation I've mentioned in the post below. Been reading lots of comments how XRP is cooked. But I'm going to go against the sentiment, as I think it's showing that the cycle is not done, rather than it is. There is not a single instance price action went sideways after a major or local top was put in. We're close to 4 months in this range here. Now, folks, this is where I got to pause real quick. I'm going to come back to the rest of his analysis. But that last thing he said right there, there's no instance where price action went sideways after a major or local top. Yet that's what's happened here. We hit a new all-time high, but we were in a range before we hit it and after it. Well, it's just, so yeah, it hit the high. And very happy to see that. Yes, we're vindicated. We were right. It did hit a new all-time high. When others said that it would never have a new all-time high ever again, we were right. They were wrong. but it's still just moving sideways. It didn't crater back down or anything like that. It's just in a range, right? He's not the only one to notice that. There was this post, and I'm not going to read the whole thing here. I've highlighted this a couple times. This is from March 24th. I'll just cover the very top part here. Chart analyst Dom at TraderView2. He pointed this out, and I've mentioned it at least a couple times, and it's true. Like, this is another reason that it makes sense to believe that XRP is absolutely not done here, unless you think, you know, something this time is actually different, which I just don't believe, famous last words there, this time is different. But here Dom wrote on March 24th, XRP, there's one reason I will be pretty surprised if XRP does not go higher this year. Every time XRP has historically put in a multi-month or year top, it did it quickly, as shown in the chart here, of course. Essentially, it never showed any midterm acceptance at those higher levels, also known as no value agreed upon. The longer price spins at a level, it's always just reflective of how much market participants agree on that price. And so, look, you can look back over more than 10 years of price action here. Anytime XRP hit a high and that really was it was very short-lived, there was a wick, and then down it went. That's not what happened here. Yeah, XRP hit a new all-time high, but we're still very close to that rate. I just don't think it's done. I think it's going to blast to the upside. And so that's just yet another analyst that noticed that as well, and that jumped out at me, and I thought I'd share it with you, because it makes sense to notice this would be different. But I don't think it's going to be. I think by the time this is done, you're going to look back and be like, it did blast off. So we'll see what the time frame looks like, but probably sooner than later. Anyway, so back to what chart analyst Asimka had to say here. Said some thoughts on this price action. We're clearly in a range between 2018 and 2021 highs. And so, of course, that would mean that what he's saying is we're between roughly $2, that would be the 2021 high, and then $3.35, which would be the 2018 high. So it really is just a range, and that's clearly where we've been. And so that's a fairly big range, and I can understand since we're bouncing around between that broad range, it scares the hell out of a ton of people, but this is normal in crypto, and if you're just aware of that, then you can recognize it actually doesn't make sense to be fearful that you can get those big, kind of big-ish percentage drops in crypto. Doesn't mean something's wrong here. It just doesn't. This is normal in crypto, and it's normal for XRP. Anyway, then he says, channeling correction since the top. A channel break to the upside would be a confirmation that new lows won't be made. We have untapped liquidity below with those wicks. Perhaps a sweep, question mark? $2 keeps holding nicely. Okay, so I don't know what the price of XRP is by the time you're watching this. We're in a notably volatile period of time on a global scale, not just in crypto, and XRP is just moving with the rest of what's happening here because of the tariff stuff. But at least at the time I'm holding this, yes, XRP had dipped below as low as $1.95. It's above $2 at the time that I'm recording this, so maybe that was it. But even if there is a sweep to the downside, that's not unheard of. Like, for instance, Chart Analyst Credible Crypto, even before the tariff stuff was announced the other day, he's been calling for some time for XRP to potentially go as low as $1.60 to $1.80, very briefly, just kind of a quick move to the downside before finally moving to the upside and entering price discovery and hitting double digits after that. But either way, he's noticing as well that $2 really is holding nicely. And then he says relative strength index perhaps giving a clue on timing of a breakout as it keeps being held down by a diagonal. And you can see the relative strength index at the bottom here. So at some point it would break above the trend line, presumably here. I don't think this is done, folks. I do not believe for a moment this is done. Now, nobody can know for sure, and I'm not pretending to. I'm speaking in terms of probability. I think it's way more probable than not that, yeah, we do see a massive move to the upside. Yeah, I really don't think that this is done. And by the way, I'm not going to read this article, but I just want to point this out. Even CoinDesk, with a positive headline every now and then about XRP, this is unheard of if you've been here for like the last decade. CoinDesk, aka FUD that's what they're known as in the XRP community, they have this headline. And this is from yesterday. XRP eyes breakout as symmetrical triangle pattern, hence at $6 target, analyst says. They're actually covering that? Acknowledging XRP could go to $6 in the short term? Well, hot damn, I'm surprised to see that. Now, of course, you know what normally kicks off alt season, including XRP finally hitting a peak, would be Ethereum finally moving. Now, it is priced in the gutter at the moment, but, you know, markets find bottoms. And so there was a post and a video created by chart analyst Credible Crypto. And he said some things that I've been saying for, like, in this brand new video we put out yesterday. he said a couple things that I've been saying quite a bit over the last couple weeks. And I don't mean like he's copying me. Like he independently came to these same conclusions, obviously, but about Ethereum. And this is important because Ethereum leads the way. And, if it's, historically anyway, it is. And then if it's going to go again, you can expect the whole market to pick up if history is going to kind of rhyme with itself here. And Credible Crypto, in his video, he pointed out that, price in and of itself is not an indication of good or bad fundamentals of any cryptocurrency. And so he was talking about Ethereum. It's priced in the gutter. And he was highlighting people posting about how it's dead and it looks awful. And I was arguing, no, it's not dead, actually. And so he looked at various metrics, and you can see the worst you could argue is that like the chain is stagnant if you're looking in terms of like daily transactions and various other things. But what I was pointing out is that the way that people are analytically thinking about Ethereum, and if you compare that to what it's had to offer, it's not like what Ethereum has had to offer has suddenly gotten worse. It's not like there's been some paradigm shift in what market participants find is important. What you're finding is price has gone down. Therefore, people are taking that as if it were some sort of indicator of a fundamental shift in terms of like the fundamentals of Ethereum. It hasn't. So whether you think Ethereum has sound fundamentals or not is not the point of me saying this. It's that the fundamentals haven't shifted, the price has, but not because of the fundamentals, and not because something swooped in out of left field that's so infinitely better than Ethereum that people no longer care about Ethereum. It's just the market being the market. Same thing happened with XRP. For years and years it was down, and I insisted for years as I ran this channel, as XRP was being artificially suppressed by toxic Bitcoin, that wouldn't be artificial, that's just the environment we're in. But because of toxic Bitcoin maximalists, but also artificially because of the government, despite all of that happening, I insisted the fundamentals, just pay attention, they're getting better. There's increased utility, people are recognizing it, it's going the right way, and I always insisted price would catch up, the market would figure that out. And so the fact that the price of XRP was low, that in and of itself was not a good indication of the fundamentals of XRP. Now the price of XRP has gone higher, and suddenly people are pretending like the fundamentals, they've just always been fine, I guess. No, they have always been fine, but why didn't you recognize that when the price was in the gutter? Some of us, not you guys listening, but there are so many people that were talking about how XRP's dead. So the price is low. That proves it. The market doesn't want it. Well, I said no. Fundamentals are improving, and despite the artificial attack on XRP, artificially keeping the price down, impressively, it did still maintain its position in the top 10 coins by market cap. Well, Ethereum is too. It's still number 2 in terms of market cap. I'm just saying, like, this doesn't mean that it's dead. It just doesn't mean that it's dead, folks. And there's also this headline from the Crypto Basic. Expert predicts XRP price of Ethereum hits $9,000 and BNB claims $1,000. And this is from an analyst I'm not familiar with named Nishant, if I'm saying that correctly, and I'm probably not. But he was predicting that Ethereum peaks at a little over $9,000 and XRP goes to $12. Well, that would mean that XRP is probably not going to, if he were right anyway, not going to take that number 2 spot from Ethereum, depending on the timing here. I will not be surprised if XRP does take that number 2 spot, though. In fact, you realize at this point, for the market cap of XRP to match the market cap of Ethereum, XRP price only needs to increase 1.82-fold. That's right, if XRP were worth $3.69, which is barely above its all-time high from a couple months ago, it would have the market cap of Ethereum. This is not a big ask. It is really not. And so if you're talking about then Ethereum hitting $9,000, and that's his prediction, which I don't think is crazy. I don't know if not my prediction. I don't do predictions. It's not my shtick. I don't think that sounds crazy though. But that would be 9,000 Ethereum, which is less than a 2-fold increase from its last all-time high. That would only be a market cap of a little over $1 trillion. Well, XRP at the same market cap, a little over $1 trillion, would be $18, which so it'd be the same. So if you're going to see that competition, which we had seen in 2017 and 2018, of XRP going for that number 2 spot, that's what you'd be looking at, $18. And so, circling back to how we started this video here, this idea of XRP triggering countless early retirements, yeah, for a lot of people it will. The opportunity is very, very real. It's up to you to achieve it. Um, but yeah, like for all of us regular people, yes, there's never been an opportunity like this in the history of our species financially. There's never been anything like this. And we're living through this. These are the glory days, whether you recognize it right now or not. These absolutely are. You know, another 10 years from now, you'll look back and this will be like, oh yeah, I guess that Moon Lambo guy was right. They were the glory days. But people are going to wish, because everybody's going to know about this, 10 years out, 20 years out, and they'll wish that they knew about XRP when you did. And they'll wish they knew about the rest of the crypto asset class when you did. And they'll be dreaming of having such opportunities, but they'll be gone by then. By then, everybody's going to agree there's going to be way too much money in the space, and you're not going to get these crazy multiplier effects. You're able to get them now because there's almost no money invested, so it doesn't take that much more money flowing in to get a crazy return on investment, to get a doubling and tripling, so on and so forth of money here. It's way easier right now. These are the good days. And now I understand, like we're kind of feeling, a lot of people are feeling a little depressed with the price action here, but that's kind of why I'm highlighting this. It's part of the reason I wanted to make this video here. And speaking further, imagine if XRP had the market cap of Bitcoin. That would be a 13.68-fold increase from the current price of $2.02. That would put XRP at $28.31. And Bitcoin has a market cap of what today? 1.6 trillion roughly? 1.6 trillion. So let's say the Bitcoin maxis are right, and Bitcoin's always number one in market cap, and it does take out the market cap of gold. Maybe it doubles it. What if it gets into the tens of trillions of dollars? You're telling me XRP can't get, if it's going to continue to be one of the top 10 coins in the market, it can't be what Bitcoin's market cap is now, just 1.6 trillion? It can never happen. Get the hell out of here. The idea that XRP could never hit that price is stupid. STOLPID, stupid. So we'll see if it happens this cycle, or if it would have to be another cycle or two out. Who knows? I'm not going to bother with a prediction on that. But I'm just saying, even if the Bitcoin maxis are right, and Bitcoin's always number one in market cap, and I don't know for sure if that's true or not, but even if it is, if XRP just continues to get a slice of the pie, it can't be just that? Why couldn't it be way more than that? Why couldn't it be a $3 trillion market cap? Why couldn't it be over $60 or $70? Because if the asset class is going to be worth over $100 trillion at some point in the future, and XRP is going to maintain that position as a coin that's just an early winner, great at payments, why couldn't it have a multi-trillion-dollar market cap? We're just early, and it seems less crazy as I say this now, but I believed this in 2017 when I jumped in. But with each passing year, I'll just keep saying this, and it's just going to sound less and less crazy. And so you're also here with me early on. But this is what we're looking at, folks, and that's why I must insist on days like this where people are scared because of tariff news. It doesn't matter. Eye on the prize, buddy, because XRP went down because it's a risk-on asset. But that has nothing to do, XRP specifically, there's nothing about the tariff specifically that has to do with XRP. It really just is the case that finances for individuals and businesses are complex. And so if people are fearful about uncertainty within markets and they want to reduce risk, yeah, some people will sell Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, go on down the list and take that risk off the table in times like this. That's why it's happening, because that's why they fit the definition of risk on assets. XRP is a risk on asset. That's how it's treated. But it has nothing to do with tariffs. The fundamentals just keep getting stronger and stronger. It's so obvious. And by the end of this, everyone's going to agree with us because they'll have no choice. It'll just be reality. But I'm glad that we're here right now where it's a small percentage of humans that get this, because if everybody agreed, it would be too late to have this opportunity for life-changing wealth. So I'll take it this way. And then we'll have a fun "see, I told you so" at the end of this thing, right? I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.